Yeah, hi everyone, Jason here, Robot Lawnmowers Australia. Today we have finally received our sample Luba 2s here in Australia, so I'm just going to do a bit of an unboxing video. Hopefully keep it nice and quick. We'll do the assembly as well, so we'll do an unboxing and assembly of Luba, which will lead into all our other instructional videos that we've got on our members, our Mammotion members page. But yeah, we're going to get into it. Let's unbox it and have a look at what we've got. So as always, Mammotion do pack things quite well. Straight on the top we've got our little instruction manual. So similar to the other unboxing video we did with the European model we had. So it's just a quick start guide on for the instructions there. There is also our two orange keys, so we'll install one of those when we're setting up. We've got our 900 megahertz antenna that goes onto the Luba reference station, or the RTK base station. We have the actual base station, so we'll take that out of its packet as we go here. So here's our reference base. So obviously Luba 2, no different to the other one that we unboxed on the European model. We have our Luba 2 bumper. Slide that out of there. Now when you take the bumper out, it has the two locking screws are actually attached to it with a little rubber band there. So be careful when you do unpack it that you don't misplace these screws. There's actually 4 of them. They really are quite important. They really are. I'll take the rubber band off. We'll set that to the side. Okay, we have a little packet there on top there, like that sits on top of it, and that is just holding the vision module into place so it's actually packaged in there nice and tight and can't wiggle around the packet, which is quite good. There's nothing on there except for just a little instruction to say that that the camera is actually in here. And there's our little camera. Take that out of the packet. It's quite a weighty little camera, so it's actually quite solid. It's only got that white decal on top is just a clip-on decal. Put that to the side. Then we have our antenna poles. So that's the top section, well, actually the bottom section of the antenna pole for these guys. And then we have our top section that has the adapter on the top there for putting the top adapter on. Putting the RTK base antenna on, I should say. Okay, we'll go into the next little spot here, and we've got the little box here that comes through that's got our Trident fork on it. So I might just leave that in the box because we're probably not going to need to unbox that anyway. I might put that to this side over here. And then we have our power supply, by the looks of it. Possibly both of them, I'm not sure. Let's have a look. So no, it's just the power for the charging station. So the charging station supply with an Australian plug on it, which is great. And the same triangle plug that's on all the other charging or the other power bricks for the charging stations. So that's all the top level. So that's nothing else left in there now. So we'll throw all this to the side. Okay, so once we get down in further, we have the charging station 10 meter power supply, or power cord I should say. And then we go into a little bit lower here, and we have our replacement blades, so the 8-pack replacement blades, which again are in this nice good cardboard box now rather than how they were before, where they could fall out. And we also have this accessories kit box here, which we'll open up. And in there, the first thing we find is the little power brick for the RTK reference station separate power supply. And then we'll go a little bit deeper, and we've got the 10 meter cable for that RTK reference station power supply. Okay, so that's everything out of the box there. Now put the side here. We've got our little tool, which the little tool I think really is actually quite a good little thing. I'm actually quite impressed by it, to tell you the truth, for what it is. But it's just a little reversible screwdriver, same as what we've shown in the other videos. It's got the 2.5 4mm Allen key on one end and a little Phillips head on the other end there, so you can undo your blades and also put Luba together in the first place. We'll quickly just go through this little packet here, which has got all of our screws, our ground screws for screwing the Luba to the ground and other things there. So we have the 4 screws which are sort of spare screws I think, but the 4 screws for the camera, and also a little tool there for popping out the SIM card tray, which we'll do in another video shortly now that we've got an Australian model. So there's the little SIM card pin there, similar to what you get with an iPhone or a phone to pop the SIM out, and the 4 screws for the camera. We also have, I think there's 4 of those or 5 of those little clips for clipping the wire down the pole. So it's those little clips there for clipping down the pole. Put those over there. And we have 5, 6, is it? So we've got 6 grub screws, 6 ground screws. Not sure why they're giving us 6, because I'm pretty sure there's only 5 holes, isn't there? But we have 6 ground screws for screwing down the charging station to the ground. We'll have a look at that in a second, but I'm almost sure there's only 5 holes to put them in. We have the little plastic Allen key for putting those screws into the ground. We also have 4 just little wire ground pegs for pegging the wire down to the ground, and just cleaning up wires behind the charging station for your power supplies and things like that. And then we also have the little adapters for putting the cable into the base station, which they're just little covers that go on the base station on the charging station when you've put the Trident fork into the middle of the charging station. So we'll go and grab our Luba out now. Okay, and I'm just going to put him just over here to the side here for a second. And push Luba 1 out of the way, your old news Luba 1. Leave him to sit there for a second while I get the charging station out. Okay, here's the charging station, and we'll just get the box out of the way now. Put that down there, put the box over the back here, like such. Okay, so our charging station, we'll undo that, get it out of the box. That to the side. Got this big foam packing bit there in the front there, which is where the nose of Luba sits in there to protect these charging plates while it's in shipping. But there is our charging station with a piece of tape on the back there, which you peel off so you can get into the back of Luba if you need to. And it does only have 5 screw holes, which is what I thought. You only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes, but they're given us 6 screws. Not sure why, but that's okay. Maybe that's just a mistake. So that's our charging station. We'll now bring our Luba back across. Okay, so that's got it all out of the box. There's our Luba 2. So, I've gone through all the bits that come out of the box there, which is great. What I'll do now is just do the quick assembly for putting the camera on and the bumper. Look at the SIM card slot and also putting in the key. So just the things that you need to get done to actually start installing your Luba. So first thing you can do is you can use your little screwdriver that you've received. Turn it around the other way, and does it fit? It does. Look at that. So in the top here you've got 4 screws to take out, which takes the cover off the top of Luba. which is the camera, which is just the cover that comes over the hole where the camera goes. Now, we haven't tested this yet, and we will, but I'm not sure. I assume Luba works without the camera if you don't plug it in and you leave that adapter on the top there if you for some reason you really don't want to use the camera. And then what I want to do is I want to check these screws against the ones that come in this little packet to see if they are actually the same. And they are not the same. They are, oh gosh. No, they are the same. They are exactly the same screws that come in the packet. So I'm not really sure why they give you four extra screws there when you can just use the screws that come out of this cover anyway to put the camera on. So we can take those 4 screws out of there. We get our camera. Camera's got 2 plugs on it. There's 2 plugs in the hole here for Luba. So we'll just put that down there and we'll plug the plugs together. Now it is also worth noting that underneath this camera is a bit of spare space where these plugs go, and if you want to fit an Apple AirTag or something similar, there is space under here to fit that. So possibly even a little, it's probably just enough room for a small 3G tracker as well, probably, if that's what you want to try and fit in there. But there's also, I mean, we obviously recommend that if you're going to put a tracker inside the robot, that you put it somewhere where the potential thief is not able to easily find it. So putting it in the spot that is widely known on the internet as the spot to put the tracker is probably not the wisest thing to do. And again, in our members page for Luba, we do have, it's actually in the repair video section, but we have a video there on how to open up Luba and install a tracker inside the body of Luba, so you don't have to, so it makes it a little bit difficult for anyone to get it out quickly if they choose to try and steal your Luba. Now, there also was a few comments on the internet about plastic being on front of the camera, and I believe there is not any plastic on the front of that. So if anyone can correct me on that, I'm sure you can, but it does not look like there is any protective film on the face of that camera to peel off. But that camera is now on and fitted and ready to go. It really is that simple. Let's go look at the bumper. So, like we've said in previous video, the bumper has changed a little bit because we now have a plug on the bumper instead of just having the open contacts that were there before. So the bumper's changed a little bit, so the contacts are better. But there's also 2 little locking screws in the top here, which is really, really good, because there were some Lubas where the bumpers just didn't want to really stay on properly. So I'll try and point this towards the camera a little bit for you, like such. But in the end there, so we've got that little plug there that plugs in, so we can plug that straight into the side there. It's plenty long enough to actually plug it in so the bumper still hangs to the side there like such. Slide the bumper in. Now the little light is at the top, also the 2 locking screws are at the top, and there's also Mammotion written across the front here that you probably can't see on the camera, that needs to be facing up. When you go to put this on, I generally don't try and do it from the top. It really is quite difficult to do from the top. I generally lift the Luba up, come underneath, there's a lot more room to get your hands under there to try and squeeze these pins together. Squeeze the pins together, push it into place and lock that down, and it's all really quite good and tight, like such. Now, the little screws that come for locking the bumper in. Now there's 4 screws that come in, you only need 2 of them, so you've got 2 spare again. So at least they're giving us spare screws, I suppose. And I'm hoping that the Allen key again fits it, and it does. So we'll put these little screws into the top here, and they screw down into the top. And I might get my phone out in a second and I'll show you these screws once they're installed. Because once that's tightened in, you can no longer take that bumper out easily. So you press the buttons, and we'll test it in a second. Get these screws in. They've got quite a bit of Loctite on them, so this one's actually quite firm. So they're not really going to wiggle out either, which is great. Do them up nice and firm. Not too tight to strip them, but just nice and firm. And we'll lift this up again, and we'll try it and see. No, so you can't, it actually stops the buttons from being pressed. So now the screws go in, it forces the buttons out, so you can no longer press the buttons, which means the bumper cannot fall off. That's really quite great. So that's bumper on, camera on. The last one, for as far as assembly is concerned, is just putting in the orange key in the back of Luba. Turn it around again for you. So again, you get 2 keys. The keys are just very simple. They're only a little plastic orange key that goes into Luba. You get a spare, obviously, and all you need to do is put it into this back slot on the side here. So push it in there and push, and that's in and done. So take that. We'll take a little bit of length out of there. That's probably enough. So if you haven't learnt this from other videos we've got, on the back of the base station there is 2 plugs. One of those plugs has got a fairly thin cord going into it. That is the power supply cable that you can plug the RTK antenna into, and the one with the 2 cords and a slightly thicker cord going into it is the power supply, and it's also got 3 pins instead of 2 pins in it. So you take the caps off the leads, and you'll find that you'll have 3 pins, 3 male pins in the lead, and 3 female pins in the actual charging station. Plug those together and do up the cap. And we'll put this down nice and flat again, like such. Like such. Plug the other end together with the triangle plug here, so the triangle from the power supply and from the cord. And I'll just go off camera for a second and plug this into a PowerPoint, like such. And we'll also have a solid green light on the top here. So I will just get my camera out now, and we'll just film this on the camera as well. Okay, so on top of the charging station we now have this solid green light because it's powered in. Luba is not turned on whatsoever, so we've got no green light on the top here. You can see the 2 screws in there now, so the 2 screws that are screwed into the front of the bumper keep everything nice and tight. All the screws for the camera are put together, and like I said before, there's no film on that camera at all, protection. And we've also installed the orange key in the back here, like such. And we push that in nice and tight. So now we'll just push him back onto the charger and see if he wants to turn on, like such. Put him on there. The little green light has actually come on the front here now, and there's Luba turning on. Flashing lights on the back, flashing light on the top to say that he's now charging. So that is the robot. I don't think we need to go through too much else. I've got plenty of other videos on our members page, so if you do purchase through us, you'll get access to the members page, and there's a tutorial on pretty much every step of the way when it comes to Luba 2, as well as repairs and servicing and all that sort of stuff on there as well. So there's lots of information there for our Mammotion members page. Everything else here I don't think we really need to go through. I said it really is all in our other videos. I'll quickly just put the 900 megahertz little antenna in. So stick that in there, and to put him on the end of that pole there, you need to feed that cable there down the pole like we've done in other videos, and pull that out and connect it up, and you should be fine. I think that's it, guys. As always, if you require more information, please just get in contact with us. You can email us at sales@robotlawnmowers.com.au. You can find lots of information on our website at www.robotlawnmowers.com.au. And like I said before, our Mammotion members page will give you a lot more information, and there's a lot of exclusive sort of tutorial videos for people who purchase from us. You can check out our socials as well, so Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Other than that, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.